That 1960s footage, it's not an origin story, it's a goodbye. The Fantastic Four didn't debut. They escaped. Their world is gone. And what happened next exposed Marvel's most dangerous villain. Everyone saw the suits. Everyone saw the surfboard. But hardly anyone caught the real threat Marvel just hid in plain sight. And no, it is not Galactus. The new teaser for Fantastic Four was disguised as a fake ESPN promo. Just a quick bit of throwback fun, right? Not exactly. If you watch closely behind the retro music and awkward lines, you can spot something massive building in the background. There is Galactus looming over the sky, Silver Surfer dropping into frame like a warning shot, and a dark figure behind Reed Richards who might be more dangerous than both of them combined. This is not just a trailer, it is a test. Marvel is showing you a world that looks familiar, but the more you watch, the more wrong it starts to feel. The 1960s setting, the old school tech, the weird timing of the broadcast, it all lines up with a multiverse twist they have not explained yet. This team might not be from our timeline at all. And if that is true, the question is not how they got here. It is why they came. And the most important part of this trailer is something no one's talking about yet. The teaser looks like something you would see during a halftime break. A retro voiceover, bright colors, corny lines about game night and superhero teamwork. But the second you stop laughing at the cheesy tone, you start realizing what Marvel just did. That fake ESPN ad, it is not just promo. It is canon. Every frame is designed to show us that this version of the Fantastic Four exists inside a timeline stuck in the 1960s. Not just styled that way, but actually living in that time. The language, the visuals, the editing, it all feels pulled from an old television broadcast. That is not just branding. That is world building. Marvel is doing something smart here. They are using fake media to tell real story. Just like WandaVision used sitcoms to reflect reality breaking apart, this teaser is doing the same thing. Just flipped. It is not a multiverse collapsing. It is one being introduced quietly. That 1960s universe may not survive. But the people in it, they are going to matter a lot in the bigger picture. This is not just a team introduction. It is a timeline clue. But then, just for a second, you see him. Galactus is not teased the way most villains are. There is no dramatic entrance, no speech, no glowing throne. Instead, you just feel him. The sky turns a color that should not exist. The clouds bend in slow circles. There are flashes of light too big to be lightning and too slow to be explosions. And then comes the signal. One line in the teaser says it all. We were warned. We just did not understand the signal. That is not about a person. That is about something much larger. Something that does not knock. It just shows up and starts feeding. The moment Silver Surfer drops through the clouds, it is already too late. Wherever she goes, Galactus is not far behind. And if you look closely, there is a shot in the background where the clouds part for just a second. And there, hidden behind the skyline, is a shape. Not a ship, not a planet. Something massive. Something watching. Marvel knows exactly what they are doing. They are not giving us Galactus like a boss fight. They are making him feel like a force of nature. No voice, no face, just presence. Like gravity, you cannot escape. But while we are all looking at the sky, someone else is watching from the ground. There is a voice in the trailer, calm, confident, and just a little too cold. It does not sound like fear. It sounds like control. Some fans think that voice belongs to Reed, but the pacing, the tone, it feels off. It feels like Victor. Doctor Doom might already be in this story, and Marvel just has not said it out loud yet. In one frame, there is a figure standing behind Reed, surrounded by smoke and flame. You can barely make out the outline, but it looks like armor. Not shiny, not new, worn, like it has seen something none of the others have survived. If that really is Victor Von Doom, then this changes the entire movie. He is not being introduced as a full villain. He is being built slowly. Maybe he is a scientist in the early days, working beside Reed. Maybe they split after the first multiversal test goes wrong. But here is where it gets interesting. There is a rumor that Doom does not lose in this movie. He survives, he watches, he learns, and then he disappears. That would set him up perfectly. Not as the bad guy of the Fantastic Four, but as the future king of Secret Wars. And here's where the multiverse starts to break open. This version of the Fantastic Four does not come from our world. They come from a bubble, a sealed-off timeline stuck in the 1960s, where technology looks futuristic, but time never moves forward. That explains the old TVs, the outdated language, and the strange sense that their world feels frozen. But that timeline is not stable. Galactus does not just visit it, he ends it, and Reed Richards sees it coming before anyone else does. That is where the escape theory begins. Reed does not build a weapon. He builds a doorway. Using old-school tools, machines made of buttons and wires, he starts building multiverse tech before anyone in his world even knows what that word means. He maps other realities. He finds one that looks safe. And just as their world begins to fall apart, he moves his team. They do not teleport. They crash into our timeline, into a universe where everything is already in motion. The Avengers, Kang, the TVA, and now, them. This connects directly with what Loki and No Way Home already showed. Some timelines do not just branch, they break. And when they do, people fall out. And the craziest part? It all started before they even had powers. Before they became the Fantastic Four, they were already a team. Not superheroes, not legends, just people doing a job. Reed Richards was the brain. Sue Storm was the field leader. Johnny brought energy and speed, and Ben was the muscle. But not in a fight, in engineering. They were scientists, test pilots, explorers, working on high-level missions, maybe under NASA, or some hidden program that feels a lot like S.H.I.E.L.D. Together, they were known as the Future Foundation, not because of what they could do, but because of what they were building. That is what makes this version feel different. The powers do not come first, the bond does. They were already risking their lives together before anything cosmic ever hit them. That storm, it did not make them heroes. It broke something in them, but it also locked them in tighter, because they did not just get hit by some weird energy. They were changed while on a mission that Reed designed. That adds guilt, that adds fear, and it explains why they stay together. Not for fame, but because no one else would understand what they went through. But that cosmic storm was not just an accident, it was a warning. When the Silver Surfer arrives, everything stops. In this version, the Surfer is not just a messenger, she is the turning point. Yes, she is fast. Yes, she is powerful. But her power is not the focus here. It is her purpose. She is not here to fight. She is here to warn. That changes the tone of the story completely. Galactus is coming, or maybe he is already here, and she is the only one trying to stop what happens next. Marvel has confirmed this version of the Surfer is female, and that one change shifts everything. It is not just visual, it makes her presence feel different. She is not proud, she is not cold, she looks tired, like someone who has seen too many worlds disappear. That could mean she has been doing this longer than anyone knows. Maybe she has already watched one Earth fall, and she is trying to stop the next. There is also the theory that she might split from Galactus halfway through, that she finally chooses not to follow him. That would make her the one person who knows what is coming, but refuses to let it happen again. But that raises one huge question. Where does all this lead? If Reed Richards escapes to our world, Victor Von Doom might escape too. And that is where things get serious. Galactus may be the immediate danger, but Doom is the long game. In the Secret Wars comics, Doom becomes the one person who holds everything together, by force, not because he wants to save people, but because he wants control. And if Marvel follows even part of that path, then Doom is not just a villain, he is the next problem for every hero in the multiverse. The way Marvel is setting this up feels deliberate. Doom does not need to be the main villain in Fantastic Four. He only needs to survive it. That gives them room to build him slowly, through background cameos, strange tech leaks, and missions that go sideways for reasons no one can explain. He starts in the shadows, and by the time the Avengers notice him, it is already too late. There is even a rumor that Robert Downey Jr. could return, not as Iron Man, but as a variant of Doom from another timeline. A man who looks like a hero, but has already burned a universe to the ground. So what started as a marketing joke might be Marvel's biggest timeline reset yet. The Fantastic Four are not arriving in the MCU by accident. They are running from something massive, from something that already destroyed their world. That funny retro teaser was not a joke. It was a snapshot of a universe that no longer exists. Galactus was not a future threat. He was the reason they had to leave, and now they are here, in a world full of heroes. A world that still has no idea what is about to crash into it. And while everyone is watching Galactus, thinking he is the end of the story, Doom is still moving in silence. If he made it out too, if he slipped through the same doorway Reed opened, then the MCU might already be in more danger than it realizes. Because Galactus ends timelines. Doom rewrites them. One devours, the other replaces. The Surfer might help. She might turn against her master. Or maybe she is too late to stop what is coming. Either way, her presence means the countdown has already started. So here's the real question. If Galactus already ended one world and Doom survived it, what happens when they show up here on a planet full of heroes who have no idea what's coming?